everyone, I'm Allison and you're watching Long Island Thrifter. Today I'm in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Let's go thrifting. So today my sister and I got off the ship in a place called Sydney, Nova Scotia. Honestly, I'd never heard of it before. I did some digging beforehand and I found there was a Value Village, Salvation Army, and an SPCA thrift shop. So we did some walking today and we had some fun. It was really cool. We found some really nice items that we could pack in our bags and still fly with. Hopefully nothing breaks. Our first stop was at the Salvation Army Thrift Store at 443 Prince Street. And the first thing you notice when you walk in is how neat and clean everything is. I know I've said this before in other countries, and I'll say it again here in Canada. They're very neat and clean and organized. This bag was $6 Canadian, which is about $4.32 US. So the exchange rate is really good for Americans right now. I noticed these 6 Shell gas station mugs. I'd never seen them before. They were $20 Canadian. It looks like they were made specifically for the Canadian market back in the day. And I left those behind, but I thought they were very interesting. I like this tray a lot. It was very pretty. I like the patina on it. It's made in India, but it was only $6, and again, less in US. These are like soup and sandwich plates, but no soup bowls, so no, don't want those. This, however, it stopped me in my tracks. This is an Indiana glass chip and dip with the bracket, and I have to tell you, I did take this with me. I bought it. It cost about $8.60 US. The sold comp came up $25. I think I'm going to put this in my booth though. And then over here in the glassware section, I really like these Dominion glasses. They're really pretty, but there were only 2 this size, and then there was that larger one. So it wasn't really like a set that I could take with me. So I left those behind. But keep an eye out for this pattern, because look how much these sold for, $86.71. That was a set of 8, and they were new in box from the 60s. They did have a lot of mugs here, and I did go through a lot of them just to see what they had, because you never know what you'll find in the mug section, I always say, which is always fun. This Toyota one was nice, but no real sold comps on that to be found at all. But I keep looking because you never know. I will find something interesting like... You haven't heard that in a long time, have you? But there's a lot of roosters around today, but I'm only doing it once. I saw this mug, which was interesting. It was only 50 cents. And online, I found out that it was a fake wood beer barrel ceramic mug, and there were 2 of them, but it's like a pitcher mug. But there's no real sold comps on that. This was interesting. This is Thermocrease or something like that. It's a milk glass. I didn't find that pattern, but you know, they sell for like $12 for 4 of them, so I left those behind. I like this apple plate a lot. This is very 60s. It was $1.50 Canadian, so $1.07 US. And online, these are for sale. There were no sold comps on that at all. Down here, I really love these beehive lamps. I thought they were so cute. I don't think they were completely vintage. They were probably from the 90s or something, but these are the things that I really kick myself that I left behind. Wherever aluminum pots and pans, and these are in beautiful condition. I love the blue lids on them. They were not that expensive. If you look at some of the sold comps, just 2 of them sold for $50, and then a skillet sold for $15. So yeah, I kind of kick myself for not taking those with me, but whatever. Our next stop was Value Village at 370 Welton Street, which, by the way, Prince Street becomes Welton Street at a certain point. So it's all on the same street, all of these shops that we went to. And again, walked into Value Village, and I was just so amazed at how clean and orderly everything was. And I know people from other parts of the world say to me, well, why wouldn't they be? You have to look at some of our thrift stores here in the US. Some of them are just really, really terrible looking and not that clean. But look how orderly this all looks. It looks really nice, and it was a joy to shop in this Value Village. I had a great time in here, and my sister did too. We found some really great things. I went right over to the holiday aisle because the place where I have a booth is going to be having a holiday flea, so I figured I would stock up on some items. I like that poinsettia plate, but it did have some scratches on the back, so I did leave it behind. And I thought these plates were kind of cute over here, these white ones with the Christmas tree on them. But they're made in China, they're nothing special, so I left those behind as well. There was some interesting wood decor. Look how everything is laid out so nicely. It's so funny. Love your enemies. It drives them nuts. Niagara Falls, Canada. I do love finding souvenir plates and things like that when I'm traveling because they're much more interesting than the mass-produced stuff that you find in the airport. I like this plate a lot, this leaf, and it's contemporary. It's not something old, but it was very pretty. And then this was an older souvenir plate. Oh, look, there are my Indiana glass cranberry bowls again. But I do have to say, I have the one with the bracket, and just the bracket alone, look at that. They sell for about $20. So be on the lookout for those things the next time you're at a thrift store or yard sale. They are worth a lot. And then I saw this Mickey and I was like, wait, $14.99? No, it's still $10 US, and no, left that behind as well. I like this little pear, but then when I turned it around and checked it out, I realized that the stem was broken. Too bad. That was very cute. There's so much to look at in this store. I loved it. It was so good. This plate was $3.99 Canadian, so about $2.86 US. And then down here, I noticed this milk glass plate with grape, I think it's called the Grape Harvest design. It was $4.99 Canadian, so $3.58 US. And it was in nice condition, but I kind of was a little hesitant about it and I left it behind. These were interesting canisters. That smaller one on the left was $5.99. I think the other one was around the same price. I looked them up and I found a similar pattern that sold for about $45. This Pyrex had a scratch on the side of it, and I think it definitely was a newer one. Obviously, it was not something I was going to carry back at all. And then I found this. This is Daisy Plaid. It's like late 60s, early 70s. I loved this tablecloth. I have to check their measurements, but this one I found online selling for $48.59. It has 10 watchers. And then when I was digging and did some more research, I found this old ad for this Tastemaker by Stevens. This is the Daisy Plaid, and it's adorable. So I picked this one up, and I really like it a lot. Then I saw these Melmac sugar and creamer and the serving tray. And while I'm not a huge Harvest Gold fan, I just really feel it's so iconic of the early 70s. And so I did pick these up. Online, they are selling for about $20. This is another Harvest Gold set, a little different pattern. And then I found pink in just the sugar and creamer that were selling for $14.99. And I loved this, the three-piece Aztec teal blue for $19. So they've run around $20. Our next stop was the SPCA Thrift Store at 245 Welton Street. Again, all along the same street. Prince Street becomes Welton. Yes, another rooster. I'm not going to do it though. I noticed that there wasn't as much inventory in this store than the other ones. So I'm urging all of the residents up in Sydney and Cape Breton to donate your unwanted items to the SPCA Thrift Store. It's a great shop, and I know they're doing good work raising money for all of the animals up there. When I was checking out some mugs, I saw these. These are Langley Patrician mugs with a sugar bowl and creamer, and they're from like mid 60s, late 60s. I did find one selling for $25, but no sold comps on those at all. Lots of chip and dip plates. Definitely, if you need one, find one there. I loved these green daisy. These are made in Japan. They're so pretty and so early 70s. And I only found some for sale. I did not find any sold comps. I probably should have picked up this horse wall plaque. I think it's copper, and it was only $2.50. I did find one sold comp for $23.81. I think that was Canadian dollars. So
probably around the $18 range that it sold for. And I liked these bird plates in a way next to the wall hanging. They were only $2.50 each. I noticed this Maker's Mark. They're made in Japan, and they're definitely mid-century pieces, but I wasn't in love with them enough to want to bring them home with me. I did look them up, and I found a couple of sold comps online that were similar, that run anywhere from $16 to $22. So I left those behind. My sister loves sunflowers, but she even said, I'm not going to be able to bring those back in my luggage. They were juice glasses. I think they're Anchor Hawking, if I am correct. Then I noticed these, and I want you to be on the lookout for Volrath. They make these water pitchers. This one was only $4 Canadian. Volrath has been around for a long time, but if you look at the sold comps on these, they're pretty incredible. And I have sold one of those before, and if you find one that's from World War II, they sell really well. So back in our cabin, I styled our little coffee table with my thrifted finds from Sydney, Nova Scotia.
I have to tell you, this is the way to travel. Thrifting and traveling. Travel and thrift. Do it, because it's super fun. Thanks for watching Long Island Thrifter. If you enjoyed this video, please tap the like button, and if so inclined, please subscribe. Until next time, keep on thrifting.